First off, thank you very much for attending an internet e-commerce shortly after one earlier, which kind of encapsulated a little bit of the perception of what to do online. And as the shameless plug I did in the back about addressing directly, for those who attended the earlier session, how to specifically make money with the tools online. Not, gee, we did this, but we can't tell you how, but actually to tell you the results, the percentages, the conversions, the dollars we spent, what we got from it, so that better to assess what it is that you can use with the same tools. Now, before I make introductions to the panel, which, believe me, each person on this panel has made me hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, literally. I've made that much money working with them in different capacities. And I'll introduce each when they come up to speak. What I'd like to do, to kind of make a relationship of what's going on, all those that are marketers in the group, I brought a flash drive. What I'd like is, if you want to go over and win the flash drive, bring up your business card. Two reasons. One, I want to keep your attention through the entire process because you have 4 different speakers. And as such, there's 4 different levels of excitement and so on and forth and so on. The other is as an incentive for them, because they came on their dime to come down to help me present to you this product, the products, and these strategies. And I would like, if you would like to find out more information from them, by you putting up a business card to go over and win for this, that gives them the contact information that they need to get back with you. If you don't want them to get in contact with you, just put no on the back of the card and nobody will contact you. But that way it gives them an incentive. The other flash drive, once again, Marketing 101, for the most interesting and relevant question from the group at the end as to whom they decide. Okay? So we're listening to the fact that we want feedback, we want a dialogue. It's easy to say when you're standing up here with a microphone and you have slides to discuss, but in all honesty, the success of all of the presentations are based on the feedback and questions as you guide them along. Now, you can interrupt timely, or you can wait until the end, which we are going to guarantee there will be time for Q&A. Okay? Let me point out each person first. This is John Shefke from Strategic Internet and Marketing Partners. He is a partner with us. Oh, I'm sorry, I should tell you. I'm with Ocean Properties. We have 134 properties, over 21,000 rooms, every brand that you can imagine except for Hyatt, and a lot of independents. We also have a Caribbean property on St. Croix that's going to be turning into a Renaissance soon. It's been independent up to this, and it'll be a Renaissance sometime next year, I think. I'm also the chairperson for the e-commerce committee for the CHA. I think that's what the title is. Anyway, with that in mind, I want to make sure that you understand that I'm on Marriott's e-commerce committee. I'm on Starwood's. I'm on IHG's. I'm also our independent hotels. We have 18 of them in a variety of places all over North America. We're the largest privately held hotel ownership group in North America. So hopefully I've seen some experience of any question you may come up with. So at least if I can't answer it today, I can get back with you with it if you're that interested in getting a specific answer. Okay? Anyway, continuing on. John Shefke, Strategic Internet Marketing Partners. We have him working with our independent properties. He works with us in more ways than I can even count. He's like sitting in the room when we do revenue meetings. He's sitting in the room when we do market meetings. He's tangibly as much of an employee of our properties as a person that we have on payroll. Besides him is Lynn Nugent, who is with TravelZoo, which was mentioned earlier in the first session. Unless they've changed, TravelZoo doesn't have RSS yet, do they?
No.
RSS?
RSS.
Yeah. They didn't, I noticed that comment last class. They don't have RSS. But we will answer questions about RSS. And I'll tell you exactly our successes with TravelZoo historically over the past year, literally millions of dollars in success. iCandy. Now, anybody attend last year, the CHA conference last year? Henry's with IcePortal. Henry Wood is with IcePortal. IcePortal, he'll tell you all about. But I did a terrible thing to Henry last year. I invited him to speak and didn't tell him we didn't have internet access. And he thought, I'll be online, I can go over and show what I have to have. So what it ended up being was we nicknamed him iCandy, because really he had no presentation, he just sat up front and played iCandy. So,
didn't turn out this year either.
I did give him a heads up the fact that we were not going to have internet again this year, so he did do screenshots with it and stuff like this. Anyway, to put you in the right frame of mind, and then I'll introduce each and go forward. Last year I did a Rosetta Stone, I guess I called it, and what we did was we looked at e-commerce from a hotelier and from a marketing destination point of view. And we know that from a 50,000-foot view, or whatever the analogy is, we're looking for 3 basic types of market. Agreed? This looks about fair, right? If we're looking for those three types of market, we have certain tools that we can use to go over and identify how we can market to these three segments. Obviously, our message to leisure market is dramatically different than what we do for group market. So, we have email. Not too much rocket science there. Guerrilla marketing is a term that we use. It can be interpreted for localized marketing. What it is your relationship with your destination, plain and simple. How well and how involved are you being recognized from the very physical destination you are, whether it be island chain brand, okay? What your relationship is with your actual destination. Do you show up on your tourism board site in relationship to where you're located? Affiliate marketing is advertising, plain and simple. Your banner ads, your picture ads, things that are placed on other websites that actively drive business and promote and sell you. Website development is rather obvious. That's really hard to read. Paid placement, pay-per-click. Sorry we glanced through that. That is your Googles, your Yahoos, your MSNs, where you're buying the keywords that were discussed earlier, but also those are the campaigns for search engines. Brand initiatives are what, if you are branded, what it is that your brand is doing for you, but also if you're not branded, what are you doing for yourself for brand recognition? What are you doing to identify yourself out of all those that are selling similar or competitive products to yourself? Okay? And public relations and guest communications. It's an underutilized and highly effective segment of e-commerce. PR releases, I know we throw around things like RSSs and blogs and video and all this kind of stuff. Those are all means of public relations and guest relationships. We can go into dialogue and question and answer, and I'll be happy to give you more examples, but I'm taking away from their time. So I wanted to give you a frame of reference as to what these combinations create. Your market segments and your tools literally create a grid, and for those who attended last year, we're just repeating the same information. Actually, I should thank everybody because I got a little over 200 requests to have this downloaded because it was kind of a touchstone for you to refer back to, that you can go and say, gee, if I really want to look for that market, what could email marketing do for me? Because what it does is it creates a starting point, a grid, an ability to look at how you market to your segment by the tool of your choice. Each one has different results. Each one has different ways of getting to those market segments, but pretty much it's just a grid for you to refer to because this is by no means a complete version of all the things you could do in relationship to all of the market segments. With that in mind, I'm going to step away. I wanted you to get in the frame of mind of using e-commerce tools and exactly the markets that we're talking about and how we're addressing each of those markets, and then each of them are going to give you a little bit of slice as to how to approach and literally start creating a market strategy when you walk out the door to the take-home product kind of thing. When I get back to my residence, my business, what am I going to do when I sit in front of my computer to start using the notes I just wrote in this class? Okay? So with that, I will go over and introduce Lynn Nugent, who is with Travelzoo, as I mentioned, and I'm just going to get her presentation up and then swap seats with her.